All right, commission. We're looking at commission and interest with these two sets of notes. I mentioned this in class, but commission is something that you're going to be looking at with many jobs, not all jobs, but a lot of jobs. And you're also going to be looking at interest, which if you plan on borrowing money to buy things, big things like houses and cars and stuff, we're going to be looking at that today as well, how that works. So go ahead and be filling in along with me. A commission is the money that is paid to a person from making a sale. I use Mr. Dawson. Mr. Dawson is the current band teacher. And he, on the side, he sells condominiums, small houses. And so every time he makes a sale, every time a realtor maybe sells a house and makes a sale, they get a certain part of that sale. It's usually a percent. And so they get a percent of that sales amount. If you go to, say, Verizon, and I don't know this for sure, but I would assume that a Verizon sales associate, somebody who works at Verizon, if they make a sale, if they sell you on a new phone or on a bigger data plan, they get a commission. They get part of that sale. And it's a way to to make an incentive for salespeople to work harder. It's if you sell more stuff, you get more money, which is both good and bad, and we're not going to get into the pros and cons of commission and how it's used. But that's the idea. The more you sell, the more money you make off of it. So one thing that you've seen this before, I'm going to emphasize it again. Before you can work with percents, you need to change them to either a decimal or a fraction. So before you can multiply with percents, before you can work with those percents, set it up as a proportion, whatever, it needs to be changed into a decimal or a fraction. So Mr. Cortez earns a base salary of $26,000 plus a sales commission of 5%. So no matter what, for the whole year, he gets $26,000. That's barely minimum wage. And so it's not a great way to get a salary. However, whatever he sells, and it doesn't really say what he's selling here. Let's say he's selling, I don't know, copy machines. Every copy machine that he sells, he gets 5% of that sale. Okay, so his total sales for 1 year were $300,000. So he sold $300,000 worth of copy machines. Let's see how much he's going to make for his take-home pay. We know he makes $26,000 no matter what. He's going to bring home $26,000 for that year. That's before taxes and all that kind of stuff. Plus, he's going to get 5%, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to write this down as a word, 5% of his sales. So $300,000. There we go, one more zero. Now, if we use our math speak, we're talking about math here. Of in math typically means multiplication. In this case, it still means multiplication. So $26,000 plus 5% times $300,000. But I know that I'm going to have to, in fact, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go back here and leave that as of. We know that's times. I'm going to have to make that percent into a decimal or a fraction. I'm going to use a decimal, 0.05. Since calculators like decimals better, I'm going to make that into a decimal. So I move it to the left, I'm making it into a decimal. So my equation, 26,000 plus 5/100ths times $300,000. Now I have an equation, I can figure out what that equals, and that's going to be his commission. So I'm going to use maybe C for commission. So if I use my handy dandy calculator, I've got 26,000 plus, and I've got 0.05 times 300,000. I've got, he's going to make $15,000 for his commission. The calculator I have in my hand here doesn't do well with PEMDAS, and so I'm going to have to do it a little bit. $41,000 is his take-home pay then. A little bit better. So we're going from a $26,000 salary to a take-home pay for the whole year of $41,000. Not bad. And that's how commission works. Let's look at another one. Telemarketer. Telemarketer is $350 per week plus 12% commission on sales. So as they're calling people up and they're getting people to hang up on them, hopefully not, but they're going to make money depending on how many people make a sale while they're calling them. So if I can call somebody and convince them to buy whatever it is I'm selling, I'm going to get more money out of this. So 350 per week plus 12% commission on sales. Her total pay for the week, in which her sales were, we want to find her total pay for the week, in which her sales were $940. So we know that she made $940, and we know she makes 12% of that $940. So again, 12%, I'm going to have to change that to a decimal before I can work with it. And commission, we're going to take 12% of $940. I have an equation. I can use a calculator to help me with that. And again, the calculator that I have in front of me does not do well with order of operations, which means I'm going to have to do a little bit of order of operations. I'm going to do my multiplication first, 112.8. I'm going to add that to my $350 that she's going to make. So she makes $350 no matter what, plus she makes another $112.80. So she's going to make $462.80. And yes, we do need to label. So that's her weekly sale, or weekly pay, $462.80. And that's how commission works. Okay, so that's the end of that. That's commission. You take your commission rate plus your salary, and you got it. Okay.